In this short Revit tutorial, I'm going to show you an interesting feature in Revit that's been around forever, but a lot of people don't understand quite what it is because of how it's named. Not to say that you should start using this feature every day, but understanding how Revit works is super helpful, especially when you're trying to troubleshoot. So first, I'm going to show you an unrelated tip that's just helpful as we get set up for this thing I do want to show you. If I select this wall and then use the move command, and you can see the wall is just the length of this room that's selected. However, you'll notice the adjacent wall and door and a bunch of stuff moved. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to select this again, select move, and then click disjoin. And now when I move it a few feet to the north, I still get a message about something needing to be deleted, but that's not the point of this discussion. So you'll see that the adjacent wall didn't move. So unjoin being selected on the options bar during the move command, nothing else moves with it. That can create some other problems, so you need to be careful, especially in a detailed model like this. If it's early on and you know that there's just one wall and you don't want some adjacent walls to stretch or move with it, that's a great feature. But the thing to keep in mind is in the future when you use the move command, this option stays checked. So you need to remember to uncheck it. And there used to be a problem all the way up until this version of Revit, Revit 2024, where there's some move options where disjoin isn't really relevant contextually, so the buttons grayed out on the options bar. However, it was still checked because it's persistent, and so now they've fixed that in 2024. When you go to move, for example, a tag in an interior elevation or section, and disjoin is never checked, whereas in the past it could be checked even though it's grayed out and you can't uncheck it. So remember to turn off disjoin when you don't need it anymore, but use it to move a wall without other things moving with it. So again, back to moving this wall and the feature at hand. So if I move it one more time, we'll see that none of this stuff, the casework, the vending machine, none of that stuff actually moves with the wall. Even the wall cabinets that are in use in this particular case aren't actually wall hosted or face-based families. Of course, they couldn't be just sitting here by themselves if they were, but none of this stuff moved. And if we wanted it to move, I'm going to do an undo. If we select any Revit element, any loadable Revit family, we see that it has this built-in parameter called moves with nearby elements. And in fact, this would be better named and better understood if it said moves with nearby walls. That's the only thing it actually relates to. So now that that's checked, if you knew that that meant moves with nearby walls, you'd expect now when I move this wall that this thing would move with it. But of course you can see it didn't. So one more Control Z. I'm going to select this thing. You see moves with nearby elements is still selected. I'm going to cut that to the clipboard and then paste into same place. And so when the thing is created and that option is selected, that's when it moves with nearby elements. So by cutting it and pasting it, Revit's essentially recreating the thing. And now you can see that actually moved with it. If I move it back, you'll see it moved back. So every single loadable Revit family has this built into it. Even this in-place contextually modeled custom countertop has that option, as do the wall cabinets that actually aren't face-based or wall-hosted. If you were to check this, they would move with that element. So interesting thing then to look at. If I draw another wall, and this wall is closer than the wall on the north side, and then I cut this and paste it back in to same place, it now moves with is closer to, not the other wall that was slightly further away. You'll see now that it just ignores that wall. This may not be a workflow that you want to fully embrace and use throughout your models, but if everybody understands it well, this can work. So just thought I'd share that so everybody understands what moves with nearby elements means when you see it in the properties palette in Revit.